Hello viewers, this is the part 7 of the series named Mastering OEM, and today we are going to learn a few useful OEM commands. In the last couple of tutorials, we learned quite a few on OEM, starting from creating our virtual server, install the OEM 13.5 software and the OEM agents, and also discovered and promoted database targets. Today we will get familiar with a few useful OMS and agent side commands. If you have not watched the previous tutorials in this series, I suggest you watch them first so you get a better understanding on today's tutorial. So viewers, whatever commands I am going to use here in this tutorial, all these commands will be available in the description of this video below or in a text document in my Google Drive, for which I will specify the link in the description of this video below. If you want, you can copy the commands from there for your practice. So today we are going to talk about a few of the OMS or server side and agent side commands which are going to be very useful while administering and troubleshooting your OEM system. First, we will learn some agent side commands. I have already connected to our database server or the agent server. This is the VM Linux 1. This is the server where we installed the OEM agent in the last tutorials. So I logged in as Oracle user, who is the owner of the agent and other Oracle software installations in this server. So first, let's check the status of the agent process using ps ef grep em agent command. And we see that the agent process is up, and this path that you can see here as U001 app Oracle agent 13c agent underscore 13.5.0.0 up to this part is called the agent home, and under the agent home we have a directory called bin which has all the agent related commands. So we will change directory to the agent home, then bin directory, and you will see all the external commands in this directory. And out of that, this emctl, this command is the most useful and versatile command that we are going to use with the agent. So to avoid going to this bin directory every time we want to execute certain agent commands, we can include this path in the path variable of the Oracle user through the base profile file for the Oracle user. To do that, we will go to the home directory .base profile, and we will copy this path, and in the path variable at the end we will simply add this path, save it, and then we will execute this base profile, and then we will query which emctl that should give us the full path to this command. So we are good now. Now first command that we are going to test with the agent is the emctl status agent command. So first, let's clear the screen, and we don't have to be in the bin location anymore. Let's go to the root folder, and then we'll execute emctl status agent command to see the status of the agent first. And we can see that the agent status is up, and all the other details like the last reload, last successful upload, last attempted upload, and total megabytes of XML files uploaded, and the heartbeat to OMS, last successful heartbeat to OMS, all this information we are able to see. And at the end we can see that the agent is running and ready. So the next command that we are going to use is the emctl list plugins agent. So this command will give us the list of all the plugins installed on this agent. Now what is a plugin? So the agent is there to monitor certain types of database objects like the database instance, database home, the listener. So this is enabled by installing certain plugins to the install. For example, suppose you want to monitor a Golden Gate target or an Exadata server. So that plugin is not installed on the agent by default. So that's the reason, before you start monitoring anything, you have to make sure that the type of target that you are going to monitor by that agent, that target, the plugin related to that type of target is already installed on the agent as well as on the OMS side. Now our database server is a very simple one. It has only one Oracle database instance and a listener, one agent, and a couple of Oracle homes. So we don't need any additional plugins to be installed. All the default plugins which are installed during the installation of the agent and OMS are sufficient for us to monitor those targets. So if we execute the emctl list plugins agent command, it will give us the list of plugins which are already installed on this agent. And we can see that there are two plugins. One is for the Oracle Home and another one is for Oracle Database. In fact, this particular plugin is capable of monitoring all the other database related targets also, like the listener, database instance, etc. Next, we will execute the command to see what are the targets which are monitored by this agent. Let's clear the screen, and the command that we are going to use here is emctl config agent list targets, and this gives us a list of different types of targets, which are the vmlinux1.oraexpert.org, the fully qualified name of the host, so the host target, then Oracle EMD, so this is nothing but the agent itself, then the Oracle Home that belongs to the agent installation, then there is a EMD proxy copy of the agent, and also there is a Oracle database which is having a name ORCL1, the listener. So these are all the targets that this agent is monitoring, or these are configured with the agent, or it has discovered so far. Now, suppose we want to know what is the status of a particular target which is configured with this agent. Say we want to see the status of this particular database target. So in fact, from the OEM console or the GUI, you will be able to see that. But as we are focusing today on the basic commands, so I am giving you this option where you can actually see what is the status of a particular target monitored by the agent using a command prompt. So we'll execute the command emctl status agent target, the name of the target, that is ORCL1 vmlinux1.oraexpert.org, which is also listed here, and the type of the target that also you have to specify here, and which is Oracle database type. Please note that these are actually keywords and you have to specify them exactly as it is appearing here. And this command gives us a full list of different types of metrics which are collected for that particular target, and along with the status, it gives us the information about what it is collecting about that particular target. For example, the database resource uses, logon, open cursors, processes uses, user limits, and many other things it is giving us in the output of that particular command. Now you might question, what is a metric? A metric is a statistics collected by the agent from its targets. For example, say what percentage of a table space is full, how many errors were logged on in the alert log for the database target, what is the listener response time, how long the database has been up. All these are different types of metric collected by the agent from its targets. The metrics are collected by the scheduler integrated with the agent. Next, we will use another command to see the response of a particular target. Using the command, first let's clear this, and we'll use the command emctl get metric agent, and this agent will get the response from this particular target, that is the database target. We are specifying the type of the target, that is Oracle database, and at the end we put the keyword response to see what is the response of this database target. Press enter and it will give us certain statistics on the response. So we see that the status of the database is 1, state open, Aura error nothing, archiver stopped, as this database is not in a archive log mode, and the database status is active and the active state is normal. So we got a response from the database target. Now the most useful administrative command on the agent that we are going to discuss is the emctl stop and start agents. Say you want to reboot the server, actually you don't have to stop the agent, but for certain patching or similar kind of activity, say you want to bring down the agent, then the command that you are going to use is the emctl stop agent command. So emctl stop agent will bring down the agent. Hit enter and it will take a couple of seconds to bring down the agent, and the agent has been stopped. And if you want to see the status, you will not get a detailed page as before. emctl status agent gives us the status of the agent, and this time we are going to get the information that the agent is not running. The next command that we are going to see here is the clear state agent. So emctl clear state agent is useful when your agent is in a hung state, or it's not able to collect certain statistics, or it is not able to upload it. In those cases, when you see that you are not able to see any latest information or alerts, or say the agent status is shown as unresponsive or down, even if you know that the process is up in the server, then you can use this command emctl clear state. It will clear the state of the agent and it will start recollecting all the information where it left off. So emctl clear state agent, this takes a couple of seconds, and you see that the emd clear state completed successfully, means the state of the agent is cleared. So there is no harm in doing this here at this moment, although it was not in a hung state. Now the next command that we are going to use is the emctl start agent command. When you want to start the agent, you will use this command, and it will take a couple of seconds based on the performance of your server. Usually an agent can be started in like 20 to 30 seconds. And yes, the agent has been started. If you want to see the status, again we'll use the emctl status agent command, and we see the detail page here, where at the end it's saying that the agent is running and ready. Let's clear it. And the next command that we are going to learn is the emctl upload agent command. So what is an upload agent? So if you see that the agent is not able to upload the metric information or the statistics it collected for the targets to the OMS, say due to a network error or something, the communication has broken and you just want to restart the uploading process, then you can force the agent to upload the information. All you need to do is to use this emctl upload agent. Although the agent has its own schedule to upload, and it will restart all its stuck or pending processes once the agent is up, but using the emctl upload agent command, you can do the uploading part even before the schedule. So emctl upload agent, it will take a couple of seconds based on the volume of data that it is going to upload, and it has been successfully completed. Now another command that we are going to learn is the emctl ping OMS command. This command can be used to validate or verify if the communication between the agent server and the OMS server is intact. For example, suppose there is a network issue which is causing the communication between the agent and the OMS to break, and you can verify that by emctl ping OMS command. If the agent is able to ping the OMS, it means the communication is still intact. And we can see that the EMD ping OMS completed successfully, means the communication is established. Another and the last command that we are going to learn here is the emctl verify key. So this is a command that will validate that the agent has been securely communicating with the OMS and there is no communication issues between the OMS and agent, and it is secure. emctl verify key, and it gives us two pieces of information. The verify key information, that is the successfully completed communication with the agent, and the EMD ping OMS also completed successfully, which we found in the previous command. So these two output is actually put into this one single command, verify key. Now, as we learned that the agent used to collect certain statistics or metric information about its targets, and it has a inbuilt scheduler or a scheduler integrated to the agent system. Suppose you want to see what all the different types of metrics an agent is collecting for its targets. For that, we'll use the command emctl status agent scheduler, and this is going to give us a long list of many things that it is collecting for its targets. And you see, this is a huge list. In fact, we are not interested to know each and every line in this output. Say you want to know a particular metric, whether it's getting collected or not. Say you want to know if tablespace related information is collected for the database or not. Then we'll grab TBSP allocation, this particular keyword here, in the output, and we should be able to see if there is any tablespace allocation related metric collected. And we see that on this particular date and time for the Oracle database named ORCL1, tablespace allocation metric was collected. And suppose you are making certain changes in the database side and you want to force the agent to collect the new statistics on that particular target. The agent will anyway collect the statistics as per the schedule, but if you don't want to wait that long and you want to force the agent to collect statistics, say on the tablespace allocation itself, then you will use the command. I'm showing the command here, the emctl control agent run collection. Here we are putting the database target name colon the type of the target, that is Oracle underscore database, space the TBS allocation. So here it will go and force the agent to collect tablespace allocation information for that particular database. Now it has successfully completed the run collection for tablespace allocation metric. Now suppose you want to see what is the result of a metric collection. Say for this tablespace allocation itself, let's clear the screen, and I am putting the command here emctl get metric agent, the name of the target, that is the ORCL1, this database target, and then the type of the target, that is Oracle underscore database, and at the end we are putting the tablespace allocation after a comma, and this will show us what information was collected for this metric. And we see that for the tablespace allocation metric, it has collected certain information for the CSOX system, temp, undo tablespace, and user tablespaces. So we can see that this information was collected by the agent. So these are all the most useful agent side commands that we will be using when administering the OEM system. There are a vast number of different types of agent commands. As I mentioned earlier, I don't want to overcomplicate the learning part at this point of time, and just learning on these specific commands that I explained so far are enough for you to get started. And next, we will learn a few OMS side commands. I have already connected to our OEM server named admin server as Oracle user, and Oracle user is the owner of the OEMS software, and all the Oracle products installed in this server. Please note that I will cover the commands which are mostly used while administering OEM system and not the ones which are rarely used. However, some of the advanced commands will be discussed towards the end of this series, as I don't want to make this learning part overcomplicated at the beginning. So the OMS side commands are in the bin directory under the middleware home. So if you remember, we installed our Oracle Enterprise Manager software middleware home under the U001 app Oracle EM 13.5 middleware home, and under that there is a directory called bin. So this directory has all the external commands which are going to be used in administering the OMS. So this path should be included by setting the path variable in the .bash profile of the Oracle user, but I think I have already done that, so we'll simply see what is the content of this profile, and we can see that the path variable already has this U001 app Oracle EM 13.5 middleware home bin. So we are all set. So the first command that we are going to try here is the mostly used command for the OEM administrators, that is the emctl stop and emctl start commands to stop and start the OMS system. So now first we will see the status of our OEM system, emctl status OMS. So this will give us a summary of the components, whether they are up or down, and we see that the three major components of the OMS, that is the web tier, Oracle Management Server itself, and the JVMD engine, all these three major components are up. And in the same command, if you put the details option, then it will ask for the password for the sysman user, which is sysman12345, and it will give us a details of the status of all the components in the OMS. And we see in this output there are a lot of information, and from this line to the end of the output of this details command, we see that it is also giving us information about the HTTP console port, HTTPS console port, upload port, HTTPS upload port, etc., and the instance home, log directory, etc., and some other information also, the OEM console URL, upload URL, and at the end it is also giving us the status of the three major components that we found in the previous command. So this is the output in detail. Now we will use the emctl stop OMS command to bring down the OMS. So emctl stop OMS, usually bringing down the OEM system or the OMS takes a couple of minutes. It might take up to 5 minutes, and if it's really a big system with hundreds and thousands of targets, then it's going to be even longer. In a typical production system with like 200 databases or 500 plus total number of targets, including database instance, golden gate, listener, agent, etc., a shutdown OMS command usually takes up to 5 or 6 minutes, and we can see that the OMS has been successfully stopped. Please note that our OMS system is a very small one with only one database target so far. So this is not going to take like a couple of seconds. But in a real production system with hundreds and thousands of targets, this time will differ based on the performance of the server as well. Now if you see, with the stop command, we were able to stop the three major components of the OMS system. But there are certain components in the OMS system which are actually not stopped by this stop OMS command, and we can find that by certain command. First, let's clear the output, and we will simply do a psef grep. Say em13.5 was our directory where we installed the middleware home. We just do a psef grep command and see if something is running from that particular path, and we see that there are a lot of things running just make a note that emctl stop OMS command will not bring down everything. There will be still certain components like the node manager, admin server, etc., which will be still running in the background. And to stop all of them together, you have to include the emctl stop OMS minus all, this particular command. So we'll learn about this later on. Now let's clear the output. Now we will do a emctl start OMS command to bring the OMS up. So in the production OMS or OEM system, where there are hundreds and thousands of database targets, that includes database instances, golden gate targets, exadata, listener, agents, hosts, etc. A startup of the OMS usually takes up to 10 to 15 minutes. Obviously that depends on the server performance, but there is no standard number. But ours is a very small test environment. There is only one database target server, and the OMS server itself only one database target, 2 agents, etc. In our case, starting up of the OMS will not take more than a couple of minutes here, maybe 3 or 4 minutes. And after a couple of minutes, we can see that the OMS is up. Now the next command that we are going to learn is the emcli login username command. So we will first, let's clear it, go to the root directory, because we don't have to be in this bin directory anymore. So we'll use the emcli login username equal to, we will use the super user of our OEM system, that is the sysman user, and it will ask for the password, which is sysman123455 in our case, and the login is successful. So we logged into our OMS system in the command prompt. Now the next command that we are going to use is the emcli help. In fact, you don't have to log into the this command line interface to see the help command, and this help command is actually going to give us hundreds of lines of output, and these are actually from very basic to advanced level commands that can be used using the emcli, and we are not interested in learning all of them. Just to show you how many lines of output we will get from this particular command, we can see that there are at least 200 to 300 lines of different commands here, and information about how emcli can be used. So we are not interested in learning all of this. Instead, we are going to use a few commands which are going to be very useful for us. Let's clear the screen, and first of all, we will use the emcli sync command. So this sync command is used to sync the repository with the OMS configurations, extract plugin information, and many more. And that requires that you log into the OMS using command prompt, which we already did using the sysman user. So emcli sync will do the sync for us, and it has synchronized successfully. So it is basically used when you say apply any patch or did any changes in the repository, or you want to sync up the repository with the external configurations of the OMS, then you can use this emcli sync command. The next command that we are going to use here is the emcli list plugins on server. See, this is one word, and the words are separated by underscore, list plugins on server. And this will give us all the plugins installed on the OMS side. And it has given a list of plugins which are already installed by default or as per the options we selected during the installation of our OEM system. So the plugins are Oracle Cloud Framework, Oracle Database, Oracle Fusion Middleware, System Infrastructure, and Oracle Exadata plugins. Now, if you want to see what are all the plugins installed on any particular agent, then you can use this command, emcli list plugin on agent minus agent names, and in this, within double quotes, you can specify the name of the agent. For example, we have so far installed 2 agents in our system. That is one agent which was installed by default during the OEM installation in this admin server itself, And the other agent we install in our database server called VM Linux 1. If we see the emctl status agent command in this database server, we will get the name of the agent here, and we can copy that name from this server to the OMS server. So this is vmlinux1.oraexpert.org:3872 is the port for the agent, and we will go back to our OMS server, and within this double quote we will put this name of the agent to see what plugins are installed on this agent, and we can see that the Oracle Home and the Oracle Database plugins were installed on this agent, and this is the same output we found when we executed the emctl list plugins agent command in the agent server, if you remember. Next, we will learn how to change the password of the sysman user. Please note that changing the sysman user password is not straightforward here. You cannot just go to the database and using the alter user command, you cannot change the sysman user password, because the sysman user is internally connected to many different modules in the OMS, and all those things has to be updated accordingly. So there is a procedure to update the sysman password here, which we are going to learn here. To change the sysman password, first you have to stop the OMS, and here we will use the emctl stop OMS command again. Now note that there are two options here: changing the sysman password when the old or the existing sysman password is known to us, and changing the sysman password when the current or old password is not known to us. So first we will talk about the first option, that is when the old or the current password for the sysman user is known to us, but we want to change it to a different one. So our OEM system is down, meaning these three major components are down now, and next we are going to use the command emctl config OMS minus change underscore repose underscore pwd. That's the password, and this command will first ask for the existing password, which is sysman12345. Press enter and it will ask for the new password. Say we want to change it to something else, say mansys54321, and if you can see that it is now changing the passwords in the backend, and it says the passwords changed in the backend successfully. A couple of more seconds and it's updating the repository password in the credential store, and it has completed changing the sysman password in all the components internally. Now it's also asking to restart the OMS using first the emctl stop OMS minus all command, and this is the command that I mentioned before when you want to stop everything in the OMS. So we will use the emctl stop OMS minus all command here. Please note that the three major components, that is the OMS, WebTier and the JVMD engine, is already down, and now we are bringing down all the other components which were starting from the EM13.5 home, and now we can see that all the other components including the admin server is also successfully stopped. Now we will bring up the OMS as it is suggested before, where it said that bring down the OMS using emctl stop OMS minus all command and then emctl start OMS command. Now we are going to start it, which is again going to take 5-6 minutes. I will pause the video here and I'll come back when the OMS is completely up. And now we can see that the OMS is up after changing the sysman password. Now I'll just validate using the emcli command that the new sysman password is enforced using emcli login minus username sysman and minus password equals mansys 54321. Press enter and we can see that the logon was successful. Now there is another method that I talked about, is to change the sysman password when the old or the existing password is not known. In that case, you have to specify a few more parameters in the emctl config oms command, and that I am going to describe here. I am actually not going to execute this command because it is going to take again 5-10 minutes to bring it down and bring it up. So in this case, when the existing sysman password is not known and you want to change the sysman password, you have to specify these extra parameters here, that is emctl config oms minus change repose password. Up to this part it is the same. Then the additional first parameter we need to specify here is the use sys password, that is the sys user's password for the database. And then here you have to specify this second additional parameter minus sys underscore password, that is the password of the sys user here. Say in our case it is Oracle. Then the new password, where you have to specify the new password, which is say sysman12345, just for example. So again, before executing this command, like the last time we did, you have to first stop the OMS and then change the password, and then again you have to stop the OMS using the -all option, then you have to bring it up again. So I have mentioned this full command in the description of this video below. If you want, you can copy it from there. I am not actually executing this command here. Now the last command that we are going to learn today is the emcli update db password command, which can be used to update the db-snmp user password across all our database targets. As in our example, we have only one database target, so it's not a big deal to change the db-snmp user's password in the database and then simply go to the OMS and update the configuration with the db-snmp user's password in the database target configuration. But when you have an actual production system with hundreds of database targets, and say you want to update the db-snmp user's password, and also it's a security measure which is taken time to time by updating the database account passwords periodically, then it's really become a troublesome work to update the db-snmp user's password across all the databases and then updating the OMS configuration for those database targets. But this can be handled easily from OMS using the emcli command, because it has given a very good option to update the db-snmp user's password in the database as well as in the target configuration in the OMS side. So we will use this command emcli update db password minus target name, where we have to specify the name of the target that we have here. I will simply copy this name, that is from our database target in the other server called vmlinux1. I am copying the name of the target orcl1_vmlinux1.oraexpert.org. This is the name of the target, that is the database target. Then minus target type equals Oracle database. The next parameter minus user underscore name equals db-snmp. Next minus change at target. We'll put a yes there, and then minus old password parameter, where we have to specify the old password of the db-snmp user, which is db-snmp12345, if you remember, minus new password will be say snmpdb54321, and we have to again retype the new password, which is equal to the same thing. So what we are doing here, emcli update db password minus target name, the name of the target, we have to specify this within double quotes, minus target type Oracle database within double quotes minus username dbsnmp within double quotes minus change at target, which is yes, minus old password within double quotes dbsnmp12345, which is the current or existing password, then minus new password. We are specifying the new password that we are going to set here, that is snmpdb54321, and we are also retyping the new password, which is equal to snmpdb54321. Press enter, and this is going to submit one job to change the password in the repository, and that job has successfully completed the task. Now if we go to the other server and try to log into our database, say SQL plus dbsnmp at orcl1 and snmpdb54321, yes, we are able to log in using the new password. So our target configuration as well as the password for dbsnmp user in the database was also updated by this command. So with this, I am concluding today's episode. In the next part in this series, we are going to get ourselves familiar with the OEM console interface, different menu items, and the features and functions, etc., which will be useful for us. So viewers, I hope you enjoyed the video and found it useful. Please hit the like button if you liked it and subscribe to my channel so you won't miss an episode in this series for the Oracle DBS or similar educational videos that I am uploading every week.